Good evening, everybody, and welcome to All Red TV. Today, I'm the host, Arild, the Norwegian Red, on the TikTok. I'm joined by Ant and Ben, our owner and big man in the sky. Almost, I said, Craig is unavailable today, so it's my job to do it today. And how about you, Ben? You feeling all right or ready for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm quietly confident about it. I watched that City game last week and I wasn't impressed in that second half by what they put up. And that was against Spurs, who were terrible, at home especially. So I'm
Yeah.
looking at that and I'm thinking Ekitike is going to enjoy himself tomorrow afternoon.
Well, we'll see if we can punch some holes in that quiet confidence you have there. And how are you feeling? Everything's all right?
Yeah, I'm not confident nor am I unconfident about it because I think both teams are just up and down with form at the moment, so it could go either way, really. But I'm excited to see it, especially for a certain ex-assistant manager coming back to Anfield, see how he gets see what reception he gets, because I think it's going to be either mixed or one way.
It should be one way, in my opinion. But let's. We have a couple of topics to talk about. We're going to save the main topic that was posted by All Red TV that about the ticket prices. We'll save that for another day. He has more research on that than we guys do. So we're going to start about talking about the transfer window. It's been closed now. There's been a lot of speculations, as always, when it comes to Liverpool and transfers. We have injuries every second day, I feel like. So we've been linked to everybody who's been able to stand up and run forward. We signed a defender for next summer, and we've signed a couple of defenders for the under-21s team, if I'm not mistaken. Ben, do you feel that we've done okay? Do you think we should have tried to get a player or two in our squad this window?
You have to look at what do we need and is what we need available in January. And I don't think it was the quality. People say Semenyo and Gay, but I don't think they improve us long term, nor would they be the best options financially. I mean, you see what Gay's earning at City now. It's well, if we aren't giving Canate 250, we aren't going to give Gay, who's nowhere near as good, 300k. And then Semenyo, I'm not that bothered. Go and get someone who's like Barcola or Diamande in the summer who's better, younger and cheaper. Same price.
I agree with you on the Semenyo part. I'm a little bit uncertain. I feel that we should have done more before City came and offered him that kind of money, because we had agreed a contract with him in the summer. So I felt that we should have been earlier on in the window and tried to sign him for a reasonable amount of transfer and salary. I think that should have been possible.
I would have agreed to that before I saw what he was earning, because obviously when City came in, City would have been in talks with him for a long time. They would have been saying, we'll give you this, don't go to Liverpool, we'll give you this here, so don't go there. And then obviously we've saw the Jeremy Jaquette opportunity, and we've decided to go that way instead. So I think.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't pay anyone that kind of money anyway, so I agree on that one. But
speaking on Jeremy Jaquette, actually, before Anne speaks, the irony, he has dislocated his shoulder in tonight's game against RC Lens.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
In which
how long is this going to be out?
Dislocated shoulder, 6 weeks to 3 months, depending on the severity. But I was told by people who nerd out about French football, he was very good, and without him, Rennes would have got ran over by Lens in that game.
So, Anne, what are your thoughts about the transfer window? Do you share Ben's thoughts that we done okay and went and missed Gehi and Semenyo, or do you think we should have been more active?
We've definitely, Mark Gay, we should have definitely got, obviously, if it was on different terms of a lower wage, then we should have definitely gone in, but we did dodge a bullet with the wage demands. and stuff like that. So yeah, I do agree with him with that sense. But I think we should have been more active in the transfer window in general, bringing someone in now, considering the circumstances of our current injuries and current situations of contract talks with the likes of Canate, Szoboszlai and stuff like that. Should be bringing in people who can maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't even say convince the likes of Canate and Szoboszlai to sign that contract straight away, but more give them a kick up the arse to say, listen, we've got these coming in. If you don't sign them, it's no problem. Really turn around and go, oh, actually, I want to stay and prove myself here. But we could have definitely been more active in now window instead of the future window. So that's my thoughts on it.
The guy we give it back to you, Ben. The signing we now went for that comes in the summer. Do you think that was a lesson learned when it comes to Gehi, that we, since that kind of fell apart due to City and the salary and everything, that we now kind of, okay, let's not get in that situation again. Let's sign him, make the deal, and then get him in the summer to prevent a situation like that? You think it's lesson learned?
I think in a way it was like we saw Chelsea's interest increasing by the day in this to get him in this window. Fortunately, Rennes were very unwilling to budge on the not willing to sell stance, which helped. So we jumped in and kind of said like, "Oh, look at what they're doing. This is a better project for you." So we did jump in and prevent Chelsea from getting him, which would have been catastrophic. Because from my view, he is one of the best, if not the best, centre-back prospect in football right now. But I do also think we saw it as an opportunity, because the outlay over 10 years financially makes more sense and is cheaper than Gehi.
Yeah, but you think we did the deal the way we did, so we would not lose him like we did Gehi in 6 months to Chelsea or whoever?
Yeah, for sure, because like I said at the start, yeah, Chelsea were getting more and more interested and more confident they could get him. I mean, we all saw what that absolute waffle job Sky Cava was talking about, how he only wanted to join them, and it was probably true until we joined the race and swayed him. So I think we definitely went more aggressive now to avoid him going to Chelsea or Madrid now in the summer.
I sometimes feel like Sky Cava is kind of the English version of Donald Trump. You can't understand or believe anything he says. It is.
I'm not going to get political.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm saying no problem.
I can get political. That's I don't care. So, but I think. What are your thoughts, Ant? Do you think that was a good way to do it, so we would not get in a catch-22 again this summer?
I mean, it is an exciting transfer. I won't lie. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not too bothered, because from what I've seen, I'll admit I didn't see much of him before we signed him, and then I had a look at some compilations of him afterwards, and then it was like, oh, this looks exciting, can't wait. But I think maybe, obviously, I get he wants to finish the season at his boyhood club. I get that, but maybe we could have tried to convince him a bit more to join now and be like, listen, we kind of need you. Can we like take you in now, and we'll give you this sort of, we'll give you all this in terms of bonuses and stuff if we manage to get this position by the end of the season, because you're helping out with the defensive side of it. Or if you play a big part in the defensive side, then we'll give you these bonuses. But I think it's one to look forward to when it comes to the summer window. One to look forward. I don't know about you, but I was excited with the whole Mamadashvili transfer. When we got him, I was excited to see him come in and do all these things. Obviously, he's not had time to prove himself because he's a backup goalkeeper. But yeah, I'm still excited to see him come in the summer and see what he can do for us.
But here, what puzzles me is, like you mentioned Mama there. We did the same with him. We signed him, and loaned him up or whatever you want to call it, and now we signed a player who comes in the summer. Why did we not find a solution for Gehi the same way? When that fell apart, why did we not follow through and said, okay, did we not want him that much?
No, if you remember, it was reported for a while after, like, Gehi would give his word to Liverpool, like Sky Germany said it, Sky England said it. Gehi would stay true to his word with Liverpool, and he'll go there as an free agent after the World Cup.
It also brings into the question, though, like, I get he's gone to Man City and when we don't like him for that, but you can't deny he's a brilliant defender. Like, who else in the who else is Premier League proven that we're going to find like him, like we wanted him?
But did we then, if he said, you have my word and I will join you, do you think the club then said, okay, then this is settled, and do we sit on our asses and wait?
Probably, but
no one else, yeah. But that means we save money.
Yeah, but at the same time, anything can change when £300,000 per week is dashed in front of your eyes.
I don't blame him for that. I mean, if I had £100,000 a week in my job now and somebody gave me £300,000, of course I would switch. So I don't hold that against him. But my point is, maybe the club kind of dropped the ball here a little bit, got a little bit complacent and passive. Or do you think that we had the contact, we had the money, the offer and everything, and then a better one just came along?
We definitely had the money. Money's far from our issues. I do think it just became a case of City came in, offered him such and such an amount, and we were like, okay, we're not gonna match that, so you can go to City. We'll go.
Yeah, we're not going to bend over backwards for you. Something. Yeah.
The club runs on data. Edwards is an absolute nerd for this stuff, as is Hughes, Will Spearman, and everyone behind the scenes. They would have looked at the data and like, yeah, you are not worth £300,000 a week and a transfer fee.
Nobody's worth that. I mean, isn't that what Salah and those guys have now?
Van Dijk and Salah.
Yeah, and they've been here about 8 years or something. So
they've proven themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They've proven themselves, and we were hesitant. It was a long battle for that one.
You can't bring. So I get the whole value changes, likes of when people were getting bought for like $1 million and stuff like that, and then it changed the whole face value of players. After that, I get that happens throughout time, but you can't just bring in a player and make him one of the highest paid defenders when there are players in your team that are currently trying to prove themselves and proving themselves as they are. And especially when players like Van Dijk and Salah took this many years to get that sort of contract, and then you bring in a player who's only proven himself after a season or two, and then you go, yeah, here's the money. You can't do that.
You have to look at
sorry, man.
You have to look at the kind of logistical side of it as well. Like, imagine how Konate, McAllister, Gravenberg, and others are going to look at it. Like this guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can't just offer him that when all the players are wanting it, trying so hard to get it.
Yeah, our league winning team are all negotiating contracts, and we're hesitating over like giving them 60 to 70. We're hesitating over £100,000 raises, and we go and they look on the news next day and, oh, Liverpool gave Gehi £300,000 a week.
Yeah.
But let's then ditch the Gehi story. Semenyo, as you know, also went to City. Should have we, no matter what we think, I never rated Semenyo as well. I mean he's good, but he's not what I've been looking for. But do you still think we should have gotten someone in?
Well, as a Salah replacement or just in general?
No, I mean, do you think we should have done more to get someone in? Because we are, in fact, gambling on getting the Champions League now. I mean, we're 1 or 2 injuries more away from this falling apart.
I mean, every team is 1 or 2 injuries away from falling apart.
No, I mean...
Look at City last year, or when Rodri did his ACL. That's all it took, and City lost like 12 games in a row.
Yeah, but they also won everything the year before, so that that kind of.
Exactly,
It was several.
that's what I mean. This indestructible City team that no one felt could lose games. Rodri goes down with an ACL.
Yeah, but I don't think that alone tipped that iceberg. I think it also had that they won the quadruple. They you get complacent and you get tired and you fall a little bit off the pace.
A City downfall was inevitable because they were playing at such a high level, winning so many things
so many years.
Yeah, and with the schedule that is in football nowadays, it's not like possible to have so many years of just constant success, and not have a down year. Like even Bayern Munich, they won 11 titles in a row, and they still had a down year, even though they have a monopoly over that division.
Yeah, but my point is that downfall would have come anyway. The Rodri injury kind of cemented the downfall, but I don't think they would have won even with Rodri. In my opinion, and I mean, if you look at what we've done so far this season, it has been shit all over the place. I mean, we hardly have the chance to play the same team twice, and we have half a team that the manager don't trust or don't want to use, and when you then get injuries and the player and the manager doesn't want to use the players he has on the bench, I mean, it is a slippery slope. I mean, come on, it's not optimal.
That's why I don't think we should have signed anyone, because Slot has to. If Slot wants to stay in this job, he has to trust Rio and Gamal, because no one's going to sit here and deny Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards that they're going to choose Rio and Gamal at this club over Slot or the all day every day, because they worked tirelessly to get him off Chelsea and went through legal trouble. So he's got to learn to trust Rio. He's got to learn to start playing Rio. He can't be bailed out by a £65 million signing.
But we're kind of almost losing one of the big talents as well, because we don't give him any time. I don't remember his name, but it was one of on the under 18 team or something like that.
Joshua.
Yeah. So we're kind of losing a player out the way because we don't give them any chances, and he's now picked up to the first team squad to train with them to try to convince them to stay.
Yeah, but you have to kind of remember he is 15. He can't legally play in the Premier League at the minute.
I know that, but the point is, you kind of it's still the kind of age where we got Harvey Elliott as well. So you win some, you lose some, but I'm thinking, and you think we should? I mean, do you think the stats team, the Hughes and Edwards and those guys, because they have data on everybody, whether or not Slot is the manager next season or not, they must see that we need replacements somewhere. They must have a notepad with a few names on. Yeah. Do you think they should have gone for those replacements to secure a top four, no matter who's manager, or do you think it's? I mean, I don't know.
I think personally, and it's going to sound not cliche, but it's going to sound like what most other people are thinking. But personally, I think the reason we didn't go for anyone, as much as we should have, the reason we didn't go for anyone for a replacement is because he's not so solidified in his managerial role at the moment. So it's not. So with when we had Klopp, he was a big part in bringing players in because they liked the thought of playing under him. Whereas other players now with Slot, and players I'm not really a fan of the way he's playing his coaching tactics. So I don't know whether I want to join him. Whereas, say for instance, we bring in Xabi Alonso, people are like, I like Xabi Alonso. Let me join him.
But if the top in the club are not sure about Slot as manager next season, why do we go and buy Jaquet?
Because he's like I said, he's the leading prospect for centre back talent in top 5 leagues. So
but why don't we get good players where we are struggling as well? even though, I mean, we need good players. We need squad depth.
Yeah. It is a difficult thing to sum up because there's many factors behind it, like some of what I've said, and then obviously the fact of we're not a stingy club, but we like to save money. We don't like.
Yeah.
Obviously, I get we splashed the cash in the summer just gone, but that was needed in terms of making Slot his own team. That was needed, but obviously after that we look at it and go, okay, we've spent all that money, and if we're in this position, maybe it's not working, so let's just hold back on splashing even more cash. And then it turns out it was all like a waste of 800 mil altogether. Say we spend another 400 mil, and that sort of thing. Like looking at it in the long term of maybe if this doesn't work out, it might all be a waste of money. So let's spend wisely. Let's spend in bits at a time.
Yeah, but I still think that the club has mapped out what we need. I mean, we are in the middle of a rebuild. They have rebuilt one part, and they're going to rebuild another part, and that where is Jacket comes in as well as part of that rebuild. Now, why if we have the players that we think we need for the rebuild, why not buy them now if they were available? Why wait till the summer?
I think
just to wait till the summer.
I read somewhere that like what gave us an advantage in the Jaquette deal was our respectfulness to Ren and our understanding that he wanted to stay there for the rest of the season, which is kind of like what helped us sway him in our direction, because we were like, okay, you want to finish that season, we understand that. You're young, you want to finish the season with your boyhood club.
Yeah.
You owe it to them, so we'll let you do that, and we'll get you.
Even if we didn't get any players this window, we could have made more deals like that. We could have signed more players that comes in the summer and laid the groundwork that way.
We'll be laying lots of groundwork. It just won't be official yet. Like you'll see more towards like March and April and May, towards the end of the season. Now, like we'll see more links and more talks about players who we've been interested in for a while and who we're considering getting and who we're likely to get. In my opinion, you'll see lots of groundwork coming into the public eye.
I mean, you can't forget as well. It's not like we didn't try to bring in players. Now, I mean, we tried to bring in Mark Gay, we tried to bring in Semenyo. They both didn't want to join, and then we tried to bring in that Geertruida, and then there was complications with that, and then
and Sunderland blocked in, then didn't play in like 2 days later.
Yeah. It's not like we didn't try, so it's not a case of why didn't we do it. It's because we did. We, like I said, we tried, but it just failed. So maybe they left it too late because we decided on deadline day to look to buy him instead of.
Because that is where my problem does lie, and this is probably the final thing I say on this. Because obviously we do want to talk about the City game and whatnot and the stuff, but once it was announced that Bradley was out for the rest of the season, that's when we should have made a move.
Exactly.
Go and tell Sunderland, okay, we want Geertruida for the rest of the season. You've got from now until the 31st or the 1st of February to work on something out, so then we can get Geertruida come our way. The player wanted the move, but we'll give you until deadline day to figure something out. Because our players, one of our key players, is just got injured for the rest of the season. So we'll let you do that, get your priorities in order, and then we'll come back in like a week or two and sign Geertruida. Once that's
exactly.
Yeah, we've done that same mistake with Mark Gay as well.
But let's drop that topic. Let's go on to City. We are playing Manchester City tomorrow. And before we go on to that, before we go to the game, it's been declared that Man City insiders privately believe that the 150 charges verdict has been delayed due to potential consequences costing the Premier League about £2.5 billion. The theory is that City kind of holds a kill switch, which means that if City gets kicked out, stars like Haaland and Guardiola leave, and without them, TV channels allegedly have the right to cancel their contracts. This will instantly cost the Premier League £2.5 billion. Now, I've read this a couple of places, so I believe
There's a fatal flaw in that narrative, though.
Well, that is
Guardiola is going to leave this summer or next summer anyway. So
yeah, but there's a big difference between this or next summer than.
Yeah, but regardless, Guardiola is not going to be in the Premier League soon, whether it's this summer or next summer. Guardiola is leaving, and well, whether Erling Haaland leaves or not, that's another story. But Guardiola's going.
But there is a difference here, because if a player is sold or leaves, the same with the manager, if he gets kicked or he leaves, that is natural causes. If you kind of catch my drift, that is something that happens, and that is. But if a team is relegated or the product is changed by outer forces like this one, that is maybe a clause in the contract. If you understand what I'm saying, it's like you have a house insurance. You have one that kind of kicks in if something suddenly happens, a flood or whatever. But wear and tear is what happens.
I think again, you have to kind of remember, like, they obviously on the top. We just talked about it. They signed Semenyo and Gahey. They knew what they would be signing up for. Like, City might go and get relegated now, but they know what they were signing up for. So.
Yeah,
but I don't think City would go and get all these players who would want to stay in the Premier League or at Champions League clubs unless they were confident they weren't going to get a serious punishment anyway.
They may have a clause in the contract that if we are get relegated, this and this and this will happen.
I think every player in football has a certain clause in the contract that gives them like exemption from exceptional circumstances, like a relegation from like you say, a greater outer force in football, like the 1-1-5.
But that's the point. And another thing is, if the club is relegated to the Championship or wherever, they can't pay the salary of Haaland. They have to let him go. So whether there's a clause or not, they have to let him go.
Ekitike needs to back up.
But and what do you think? Do you think there's something in this, or is this just internet clickbait kind of thing? It is taking a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, but this is City. They've got all the oil money in the world to hold it off. So.
Yeah, but now we're just waiting for the verdict. The trial is finished. Now we're waiting for the verdict. That has nothing to do with the money.
You'll have all kinds of attorneys pushing it back, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they'll have everybody under the sun being like, let's hold off until the end of the season, and then by the end of the season, like, okay, we're this high up in sort of in trend, so let's wait until next season or some sort of pushback. But in terms of when you were talking about contracts, I think there will be, if they do get relegated. Let's say theoretically, the outcome is they get relegated because of the amount of points they get taken off and such. I do think there'll be clauses in those contracts of big name players that they've signed recently, especially after the whole 115 started. There'll be clauses of like a tiny buyout fee for them. Like, say, for instance, with Semenyo, it'll be like a 10 million buyout fee or something like that because he's been relegated, or he'll get released because they've been relegated. Like, I know it's completely different to it, but like some Football Manager, where in those contracts there's always a relegation clause in there with these big name players. Like, so the relegation clause is they get a higher contract wage and stuff like this, and to cover the costs of them playing in a lower league. But I do think there are big clauses, like I said, the whole release fees or contract terminations and stuff like this, and they are aware of it. That's why they've joined anyway, because they know that their future is safe either way because of these clauses.
But I've kind of felt that the delay of this verdict is dragging on, and I now believe it's not going to happen until the summer because
everybody's getting impatient.
Yeah. And it's almost like they're trying to see if people forget it. let's see, But it is like, okay, City needs a rebuild. Now this is the conspiracy theory that I kind of look at. It's like the City needs a rebuild. Let's give him the rebuild, and then we block him out for transfer windows.
I don't think that'll make it as much of an impact though, because they could last them 4 transfer windows and still make it big in the league.
That's the point. They're using all the money now because they kind of know that there will be a transfer ban, but they don't need to buy players like Chelsea did when they kind of knew they were going to get locked out of transfers. They used the summer and January window to buy a heap of players. When the ban came into effect, it didn't hurt them at all.
Then again, like Chelsea back then, City have one significant advantage on their side. Their academy is major. Like, their academy is good. They can take advantage of that academy now, and they'll have to if they do get a ban in the transfers.
Yeah, but definitely. If they get a hint that they will be locked out for the transfer window 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, and they know this is going to happen, then they do the rebuild now. They've spent twice as much money as we have every year, almost.
We've spent about the same amount, but they've spent it over a longer period of time, over the last 3-4 years.
I think they'll definitely find a loophole somewhere, because they seem too calm. Unless they're hiding the fact that they know there's going to be a big, massive fallout or something. I think that they've found either a loophole, or they're currently in the works of finding a loophole. That's why they've been so quiet about it.
My main opinion is, I agree with a lot of opinions. I think have a lot of validity in them, but I just think right now there's a title race going on, and the Premier League can't disrupt that, because, well, if you throw that up there, it's gonna ruin the title race, which could be good.
Yeah, but they destroyed the relegation by giving out points deductions to Everton and Forest. They had no quarrels about destroying that one.
Yeah, but they reversed the Everton points decision.
Yeah, but they disrupted it. They take away points, then give them back. I mean, if that's not disruptive, then what the fuck is it? I mean, if they have no quarrels to disrupt a relegation battle, but then suddenly can't disrupt Chelsea because they're in the title race, come on.
Yeah, but which club brings more revenue to the table, City or Everton?
Yeah, but that's the point about the post that I read as well. They are afraid to do it now because it will cost them money.
Yeah.
But I raised one major question here. Like, if losing City is going to cost you 2.5, nearly 3 billion, what would it cost the Premier League if, say, United or Liverpool got caught up in this situation? The Premier League would genuinely lose like well over 5 to 6 billion.
Especially considering we're now the highest earning
club in Europe.
Like club.
I agree, and that is a question as well. I mean, but it's not a flaw in the thinking, because one thing is that if Liverpool or United last year got relegated because they were shit, that is something that is a natural part of the league. Yeah. That is a natural cause.
That's what they call natural cause.
Yeah.
That's why
but being kicked out is unscheduled kind of disruptive thing. Yeah, and they may have clauses that the product we bought, it is like, I don't know, but
that's why we need time to go down so we can see how much of the effect of a big 6 club getting relegated would truly have.
Yeah, I mean they need to be relegated, but
God forbid we sign Mickey Van de Ven because of
it. God forbid. Joe, what made me laugh before though about when you said it'll disrupt the whole title challenge. Yeah. Imagine this is like a comedic side of it. Imagine Arsenal, touch wood, this doesn't happen. Imagine Arsenal win the title and it gets overshadowed by the fact that City get relegated. No one gives a shit about Arsenal's title winning it. Everybody looks at the fact that City's been relegated and Arsenal just sat there going, guys, we won the cup.
5 people in London who's cheering and everybody's laughing at Arsenal instead.
It's like the City parade, but 10 times worse.
Then before we go and move on to the game, The Arsenal title is going to get overlooked eventually anyway because it's a World Cup year. No one's going to care about the Arsenal.
Exactly.
No one's going to care about the people from
Considering
Woolwich.
the circumstances of other teams in the league as well, like us, where we're having a shit season after winning the league.
I love it.
City are currently battling title charges instead of battling it Arsenal.
Either way, I'm running a narrative that diminishes this title, and there's nothing they can do about it.
No, they tried to do the same to us. So.
So let's talk now about the game tomorrow. And Ben, you've quietly confident is what you kind of said earlier. I would like to ask your why are you quietly confident? And I mean, you mentioned that they played shit against Spurs, and everybody kind of plays shit against Spurs, but City is still a force to be reckoned with, but they are very up and down. They can play good football, or they can be quite shit, like we are.
Right now, like you just said, City are like us at the minute, either really good or really bad. There's no in between. They're really good or really bad, like us.
So if we are really good at one point and they are really good at one point, it's going to be...
The difference is, in my opinion, is the spine of each team. Like, I do not rate City's current spine with all their injuries right now. Gahey and Kusanov as their centre-backs. Nope, not rating that at all. Kusanov's a decent player. I think they're decent individuals, but together they don't work, in my opinion. And against good strikers. And Ekitike is a world-class striker. So that's where my confidence comes from. Plus Mateus Nunes at right back. And Donnarumma in goal. Like, Donnarumma is an absolute bozo. He's an oaf. He's an oaf. He turns the speed of a snail.
It just goes to show, though, that those other leagues are really farmer leagues. Where you get them players from, and they play really well, and then you look at them in the Premier League, and it's like, you are shit.
I do find it funny that's where Donnarumma came from. Like,
and Donnarumma, he was a talent, and then kind of
then he was 22 for like 10 years.
Yeah, but the point is, he has every ability to be the best goalkeeper in the world, and he has certain games where he is that best in the world. But most of the time, he's closer to Onana than he is, the best goal in the world. And I can't figure out how he makes that possible.
It's like you say, Onana. He is Onana without Papadon wrists. Like, he's just got stronger wrists and he's taller. That's it. Neither are good with the ball. Neither are good overall the best. They're both inconsistent. It's just Donnarumma can turn up when it matters. Onana can't.
Yeah, but Onana, Donnarumma, with his height and his reflexes and his range and everything, he has everything that should be the best goalkeeper in the world. He just cannot utilize it for some stupid reason. I don't know why.
I do like I said, though, with City's defence right now and their lack of a spine.
Yeah.
He's constantly getting barraged by the good teams, so he's not. So instead of only having to face 1, 2, maybe 5 shots that he normally would for City, if he played for City of the past, he's having to face like 10, 12, 15. So obviously when you start conceding more shots, you're going to concede more goals, especially if those shots are good shots.
Okay, but what are your predicted lineup for tomorrow, Ben?
My predicted lineup is the same team that played against Newcastle. My ideal lineup is the same team that played Newcastle, but take McAllister out and put Jones in.
Okay. So that means Dominic at right back.
Yes, unfortunately.
That still pisses me off.
Very much indeed.
Yeah.
Is Frimpong still out?
Yes.
Yeah, Frimpong's out, right. Bradley's out.
Gomez could be back, but it's...
Calvin Ramsey can't be put in, can he? Fucking God forbid that he puts in a decent player.
We can't have that now, can we?
Slow grow before he plays Calvin Ramsey in a big game.
He'll dig up my dead mom before he puts Ramsey in. So, but Ant, what are your thoughts about the game tomorrow? What do you think is Are you quietly confident? Do you think we have a shot tomorrow?
You're not going to like my answer because it's the same as when you asked me if any slots in or else. I'm on the fence with it because.
Okay, so you're on the fence.
So what was City when we played City and they thrashed us? What was their form in the game before us? Can anyone remember like what their form was?
I think they won. I think it was a Champions League game. I remember we beat Madrid the same week.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I mean. Like previous form in games doesn't really run at the moment, so that's my opinion on obviously what Ben said with the whole like they were shit last game and stuff, and we'll beat them easily this game. Like I don't think that'll be the case because this season is a very strange one in terms of form. It's all over the place for all sorts of teams. I mean, look at the table at the moment. There's teams all over the place that shouldn't be in the place that they are.
To answer that question you were talking about, what was City's form going into the Etihad fixture in November? They won 3 on the bounce. Swansea, Bournemouth and Dortmund, all by 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only real contender for them games was Dortmund. The other two were just free wins.
Yeah. Bournemouth are alright, but I mean, at the Etihad, City, nah.
Yeah, no. It was home games, but
funnily enough, after the 3-0 win they had against us, 2-1 loss against Newcastle and 2-0 loss against Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the form's just all over the place this season for any team, so it's not an easy prediction to make because you could sit here and say, oh, it'll be City will win because they've just lost their game, so now they'll bounce back, or you could say, oh, we'll win because they've just lost their game, so they'll be on the downfall at the moment for a couple of games. It's one of those where no one can predict it. Obviously, I get it's a prediction.
There's only 2 consistent teams in Europe right now. That's Arsenal and Bayern. They're the only 2 teams where you can generally say they will probably win most games they play.
I'd throw Barcelona in the mix as well at the moment.
Probably, maybe. I don't know. I'm not watching that much.
I wouldn't put Real Madrid in there. Definitely not.
No.
Especially when they've got an injured right back who no one knows.
Well, what are your predicted? What are your lineup for tomorrow, Ant?
I'm gonna go player for player here. So obviously, Alisson in goal. Right back, either Jones or Szoboszlai. And then obviously the flip round in midfield as well for the midfielder position. 2 centre backs are obviously going to be the usual Canate and Van Dijk. Left back, I'm going to go Robertson. Obviously the 3 midfielders are going to be Gravenberch, either Szoboszlai or Jones, obviously the flip side. And then obviously Wirtz. And then you're going to have Gakpo, Ekitike and Salah because it's Slot. Why wouldn't he put Gakpo on the left? That's my prediction. But my ideal prediction my ideal lineup would be the usual back line with Alisson in goal. Curtis Jones, Wirtz and Gravenberch in the middle. And then maybe Rio on the left. And then Ekitike and Salah, because I do agree with what Ben says. Rio needs to play. We need to start playing Rio because he is a generational talent and he will prove himself if he gets game time that he deserves. So
I agree. I just don't think it's going to be the City game he's going to start.
No, I get that, but that's why I said that's my ideal lineup because I get City's a hard game to just throw someone in and say, here's some game time for you to prove yourself. But at the same time, as they say, throw them in the deep end. What better way to prove yourself than to be thrown straight into the deep end?
We threw Trent in that City game as well. So the City game was the first game for Trent to start as well.
I think he started a couple of games before that, but that was like his first real test as a Liverpool starter.
I thought he had come in on the other games, but predicting score, man.
I've said it all week. I'm going to stick with them. I'm 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay, Ant?
That was going to be my one. It was going to be, if we were to win, it's going to be 2-1.
Okay.
I don't trust our system or defence enough. Like the good players, yeah, but don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we'll definitely concede. We will definitely concede.
I just think Haaland's definitely finally breaking his duck at Anfield as a City player.
Yeah, well.
No, I think it'll be Doku who scores that goal.
Doku's unavailable.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I think it's going to be Haaland.
Or a Serki or whatever his name is.
It'd be blooming Gakey and Semenyo.
Oh, fuck it. Please, no. You just put that into the universe there. That is going to be really heartbreaking, because imagine looking at Semenyo and he starts celebrating wildly.
And Gay gets the game win in overtime at the
yeah, and they both start pointing at the badge. Oh god.
Yeah, oh fuck, you know. Okay, so you both guys go 2-1.
Yeah.
I don't give predictions. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I know. What was that you were saying about predictions?
I just said that you said 2-1.
No, I'm on about because you're about to give your prediction. What were you saying earlier about? Oh, you know.
I was just taking the mick out of him because, like, I know he's not going to give us prediction at home, but I'm too old to do this.
I'm going to say my lineup. Is that okay?
No.
Yeah, sure. That's if you're not too old to do it.
You know. Okay, I think like Ben is going to be a lot like the game against Newcastle. Ideally, I would like to see Ramsey playing at right back, but we all know that's not going to happen. I would rather see Jones as right back instead of
Szoboszlai.
Yeah, we need Szoboszlai in the midfield.
Yeah, definitely.
I know that's not going to happen. He's going to put Szoboszlai at right back, and it infuriates me. And I think the top three is the same. I don't think Jones is going to start tomorrow either. I kind of agree that he should maybe start before Maka, but I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow. So for me, the lineup is
basically the same team that beat Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. But as I said, I would rather have Jones at right back and Dominic in the midfield, where he's our best.
If we had a manager with a full head of hair, it would be, in an ideal world, it'd be Jones and Szoboszlai with Wirtz and Grav in midfield and Ramsey at right back.
Your ideal world would be he isn't Dutch.
Yes, I very much agree with that premise.
We both know that Ramsey's not going to play, so
no, definitely not.
I mean, it is. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't do predictions, as you guys know, but
yeah.
I don't think we're going to lose tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you reckon, win or lose? But...
No, I don't think we're going to lose tomorrow, because we've been more solid. I mean, the difference during a game, the difference between our top level and the core level is not as big as it has been until recently. But as you know, we lost against Bournemouth. I think was it at the 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2, 97th minute winner by
exactly.
Hanley.
So we're still not out of the woods yet. But I think the key is to keep Haaland from the ball. I mean, he's having a little downtime now as well. I don't think he's getting the service he needs. I don't think he's on point as well. So
who is this? Salah? Salah? Or Ekitike?
No, I'm talking about Haaland.
Oh, man. Never mind.
Yeah. Pay attention. Kind of use the earmuffs you have on. But I think if we can keep Haaland off the ball, I think a lot of the job is done.
It's not keeping Haaland off the ball, it's keeping the people who supply him off the ball, so Cherky, Foden.
Yeah, but I don't think they've been all that good today so far this year anyway.
My main thing is that it's mainly Foden, because he turns up against us. Like Cherky, in a way, he's obviously a good player, but when the games are intense, he sort of fades away.
Okay. Yeah. But as I said, I don't think we're going to lose. Now, if we lose tomorrow, that's the last time I'm going to say even that. So, but I don't think we're going to lose. But I don't think any team. All right, I have one final question, guys, before we leave today, and that is, if we lose or play a draw, is top four out of the is top five out of the picture?
No.
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 Definitely not.
I can answer this with the facts. Yeah, Rafa Benitez facts. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to look at the long-term game. Chelsea's schedule gets harder from the 1st of March onwards. They've got as hard a run as us, including we have to play them, they have to play us and whatnot. And plus you have to factor in the FA Cup and Champions League. I assume both us and Chelsea will go far in the Champions League. I hope we go far anyway. And then you've got to also think about Villa. I think they're the weak team in all of this, because right now they're being ravaged by injury, and they're going to focus on the Europa League. Come what may, they will focus on the Europa League because they can win that thing. Like if they get they've got a couple injuries now, but if they get one or two of those players back, then I put them as top dogs to win it.
Yeah, but look at United. They're now 5 points ahead of us. And I've seen a couple of last games they have. They don't have any Europe, and they are playing really well.
United aren't, like I said, United aren't the weak team anymore. I think they finished third, so fourth and fifth are what we're targeting now.
But the point is, as it stands, if we lose tomorrow, we're 8 points off Villa. Now, one thing is not being in the top five, but one thing is getting the 8 points.
There is also a scenario where we could still get Champions League football even if we finish sixth, but it does require Villa to finish. I think Villa to finish in the top four and win the Europa League.
But now we're talking
technicalities.
Yeah, so let's keep it simple and say top five.
Sort of circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. There's always this and that, but mainly is it's starting to get a few points now. As I said, I don't think Man United is going to drop a lot of points for the rest of the season. I mean, they're playing clock football, in my opinion, what I've seen so far. Chelsea is as you said, are having a tougher schedule than we have, but we are also in the Champions League. And if I mean, we don't have any advantage against them there, and we're still 4 points behind.
We could play Chelsea in the quarterfinals, so that could actually determine how the rest of the season domestically goes.
Yeah, but my point is that if they go far and we go far, it's the same. It's the same. We don't have any advantage over them, and they don't have any over us, except that they are 4 points ahead.
Then it comes down to both of us treating Villa as prey. I've asked a lot of people, and everyone thinks the same. It's going to be Villa that ends up falling out of all of this.
Yeah, and you may be correct, but they're 8 points. We have to gain 8 points on them.
I think we will. People underestimate we still have a great squad. All we have to do is just take the chances, because we do create plenty. We're just not taking them. We have been of late.
What we have to do is play.
Of late, you mean the last 24 seasons and Premier League games and Champions League games?
The last
of late
2 to 3 weeks, we've been taking the chances we actually create, like in the Newcastle game, Karabakh, Marseille, and whatnot. We've took those chances.
And like I said, we've actually been playing interesting football.
We've been pick and mix. I'd say 30 minutes terrible, 60 minutes okay, or sometimes 30 minutes terrible, 30 minutes great, and then 30 minutes terrible again, or average.
Vice versa. Yeah.
Well, I'll leave that as the final words. I want to thank Ant and Ben for joining me today. I think we did a good job when it comes to jumping on and doing the best we can without Craig. I hope you will follow All Red TV, give a like, subscribe, and follow. And we will be back soon with another stream. And I wish everybody a good evening and good